The Samsung Galaxy Note series is Samsung's flagship phone and always stood for the big phone with all the big features that can be packed into a phone. But the current Note 10 surprises us in two ways. There are now 3 variants: the Note 10, the Note 10 Plus, and the Note 10 Plus 5G. Also, it does not pack everything possible into a big phone. For example, where is the headphone jack? Where is the high refresh rate display? Samsung claims the Note series is for creators, which means nothing these days. Practically, it is for you if you love using the stylus and if you have big hands. For our Note fans out there, the first things you will notice are you have no more that dedicated Bixby button. There are only the power button and the volume rocker on the left side. No buttons on the right side. The fact that the Bixby button is removed will make a lot of people happy. Anyway, if you still want Bixby, a long press of the power button will activate it. If you really hate Bixby, Samsung now allows you to configure the long power button press to activate the power menu instead. You will notice also the lack of a headphone jack. Yes, there is no place to put in your 3.5mm headphone jack. In conciliation, Samsung provides a USB-C headphone in the box. The third thing you will notice is that there is no fingerprint scanner in the back of the phone. Like the S10 Plus, it has an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner underneath the glass of the display. You will also notice that the front-facing camera now looks like a hole punched out of the middle of the top part of the screen. And because there is no depth sensor, the hole looks very small and easier to ignore than in the S10 Plus, which looks like 2 holes punched close together, but on the wrong side of the screen. If you enjoy multimedia through the speakers of your phone, you will wonder what happened with the Note 10. The speakers are supposed to be stereo and with Dolby Atmos, but sounds weaker than the Note 9 and S10 Plus. Last but not least, you will notice the wonderful 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, which is the same as what you have on the S10 Plus. The display can get very bright. It completely fills the front of the phone with a 91% screen-to-body ratio. The smaller brother of the Note 10 Plus is the Note 10. It has a smaller footprint than the Note 10 Plus, the S10 Plus, the Note 9 and the Note 8, but has the same more or less 6.3-inch display like the Note 8. It has only a 1080p dynamic AMOLED display, no micro SD card slot for expandable storage, less RAM, and misses out on some of the camera features, and does not support the new 45-watt charging. The Note 10 seems to be a too much trimmed down version of the Note 10 Plus, except on the high price. We think that if you are a true Note person who really needs the stylus or the S Pen, you should skip it altogether. Go directly to the Note 10 Plus or to the Note 9, which is much more value at this time. And if you do not need the S Pen, just get the S10 Plus instead. Let's talk about the battery. The Note 10 Plus has the biggest battery at 4300 mAh. But it also has the largest screen. However, do not let these values fool you. The screen on time is the same for the average user of around 4 hours. It will take you through a day if you are an average user. Where the Note 10 Plus shines, not the Note 10, is in its support for an optional 45-watt super fast charger which can get you from 0 to 70% in 30 minutes. On wireless charging, it also beats everything else with a 15-watt capacity. Overall, if you usually charge your phone more than twice in a day, you will enjoy the Note 10 Plus more. Also with the Note 10 Plus, Note 10 and S10 Plus, you get reverse wireless charging or reverse power share, which allows you to use your phone to wirelessly charge other compatible devices. In terms of overall performance, the Note 10 Plus and the Note 10 should take the lead. They have the latest Snapdragon 855 or equivalent Exynos processor depending on your region. The Note 10 series apparently also have the world's smallest vapor chamber to cool them down for longer. This is good for multitasking or gaming for long periods. The Note 10 Plus has 12 GB of RAM, the Note 10 8 GB. However, does not feel as fast as a Google Pixel or the OnePlus 7 Pro. We know that Samsung did a good job, and some of the lags could be attributed to the heavy One UI, which is on top of Android 9. The main camera setup in the Note 10 series is vertically aligned as opposed to horizontal on the S10 Plus, Note 9 and Note 8. The Note 10 Plus has 4 cameras in the back if you consider the time of flight sensor for blurring backgrounds in a live focus video as a camera. This depth vision camera measures depth information to help with taking portrait pictures and so-called live focus video. Note that the Note 10 does not have this time of flight sensor, and we cannot understand why. The main cameras include a dual aperture camera with 12 megapixel available also on the S10 Plus, the Note 9 and the Note 8. A telephoto camera with 2x optical zoom with 12 megapixel available also on the S10 Plus, Note 9 and Note 8. And an ultra-wide camera with 60 megapixel which is only available on the S10 Plus. You will not find this ultra-wide camera with super steady stabilizers on the Note 9 nor the Note 8. In short, the camera setup for the Note 10 series and the S10 Plus does not differ so much except for their alignment. The front-facing cameras are both 10 megapixel for the Note 10 series and the S10 Plus, but the S10 Plus has a wider aperture for better low light performance, a price you pay for getting a smaller camera hole in the screen of the Note 10 series. On top, the S10 Plus also has a secondary depth camera, which works like magic when taking portrait selfies with a background blur. What is strange, however, is that the Note 10 allows live focus video using the front camera without this secondary depth sensor, whereas the S10 Plus, which has the hardware, this depth sensor does not allow live focus video. Maybe this is just a software issue for the front-facing cameras. Worth mentioning is that you now have a dedicated night mode similar to the Google Pixel Night Sight to help you take pictures in low light. Also worth mentioning is that the Note 10 Plus has a zoom-in mic, which tends to follow the camera zoom to isolate the sound from what you zoom into to make it louder. So if you zoom into a car with the engines on, you will hear the engines louder. The Note 10 Plus is very comparable in size to the S10 Plus, the Note 9 and Note 8. However, with a 6.8-inch screen compared to the between 6.3 to 6.4 inch in the others. Compared to the S10 Plus, the display technology is exactly the same. They are both dynamic AMOLED displays. The Note 9 and Note 8 are Super AMOLED displays. If pixel density is very important to you, it is interesting to note that due to the smaller screen size, the S10 Plus actually wins over the Note 10 Plus with a slightly higher pixel density. The Note 10 Plus does have an HDR10 Plus certified display. However, for normal multimedia consumption, we could not notice a difference to the other displays. Since the resolution in all the screens are almost identical, we could also not notice a difference in their sharpness either. The Note 10 series have much slimmer bezels and a higher screen to body ratio. Worth mentioning is that the almost bezel-less display of the Note 10 series is only 60 Hz. The main competition, for example, the OnePlus 7 Pro, has a 90 Hz display. The iPad Pro, the Razer phone, the Asus ROG phone, all have 120 Hz displays. It is not clear why Samsung did not follow the trend here. In the security department for unlocking the phone, both the Note 10 series and the S10 Plus have the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner, which by the way feels slower than the traditional rear fingerprint sensor in the Note 9 and the Note 8. Additionally, the Note 10 series and the S10 Plus have a face scan but no iris scan. The Note 9 and Note 8 both have the iris scan on top of the face scan. All the Notes have a stylus, or the so-called S Pen. The stylus of the Note 8 is just a stylus, whereas that of the Note 10 series and the Note 9 are Bluetooth enabled. That allows for more functionalities like taking a photo remotely with your phone. The S Pen on the Note 10 series goes a step further. The new air gesture allows it to be used as a magic wand, integrating an accelerometer and a gyro using predefined gestures to make, for example, your camera zoom in or out. The handwriting recognition is now much better and even searchable. Yes, you can now search through handwritten text. Samsung promised to open the SDK kit to third-party developers to encourage them to do stuff with the new S Pen air gestures. So fingers crossed, maybe someone will come up with even more useful applications. There are also additional features worth mentioning. You can now do screen recording with the selfie camera simultaneously activated. Why you may need this? Maybe when you want to record your reactions while gaming. Also worth mentioning. Since the Note 10 series is the newest in the Samsung product range, you are most definitely going to get more software updates for longer. Yes, we all have our opinions about Samsung's update policy. The Note 10 compared to the Note 10 Plus is a too much trimmed down version in our opinion. No support for the super fast charging as in the Note 10 Plus using the optional 45-watt charger which will reduce charging time drastically. No depth sensors on the main camera. No micro SD card slot for expandable storage. A smaller battery. 50% less RAM. Only a 1080p display in 2019. It really feels that Samsung deliberately took stuff away to ensure the Note 10 Plus was superior to it. If you like its smaller size, if you really have small hands or small pockets, and you really want the S Pen, then maybe you could go for it. So what do we recommend? If you must get one of the Note 10 series, get the Note 10 Plus. It offers a lot more specs and value for only $150 more. If you have a Note 9, wait for the Note 11. Maybe then Samsung will give us back a headphone jack and a 120Hz display. Whatever you decide to do, may it make you happy.